What's up, and welcome to the Mallard Mischief Podcast. This is Season 2, Episode 5, brought to you by our buddies over at Lost Hat Co., the blanks you've always wanted. And speaking of Lost Hat Co., we've got some big news, don't we, buddy?
We do. Our buddies over there at Lost Hat Co. have hooked us up with our own line of custom hats. Our patch on the, what is this, the goat rope hat?
Yeah.
In original Bottomland. So they got us looking fresh. Excited to hand a few of these out to some of our buddies. So
yeah, we'll make these available sometime soon for everybody that's interested. So
Absolutely.
Just hit us up on Instagram if you're interested in one of our hats.
or TikTok.
Or TikTok, yeah. And with that, we've got some awesome guests on the show.
We're excited about this one. We've got our buddies over from Wall Media here, returning, I think, for the third time in a row.
He's basically like a co-host at this point in time.
Third episode in a row.
Our guest co-host.
We've got Owen with us, but we've got the Ed Wall in the house as well. Ed, we're glad to have you with us.
Good to be here. So this is your third straight time?
In a row.
It's no wonder this editing isn't getting done. You over here?
He's over here podcasting all night long.
The first time he was the guest, and then last week we did the crash landing episode, and he was like, "Hey, can I just come basically sit and hang out?"
I said 6 words.
Yeah, he added some color commentary, but and now he's back.
Well, if you're not going to talk, you might as well bring your computer and edit while you're on the podcast.
No doubt.
Get some stuff done.
He was swiping Tinder the whole time.
Well, we had Jacob on last time from Crash, so
He's a nut.
yeah, he is. He was
No
awesome.
doubt.
If only he had Wi-Fi. It's
Yeah,
only
oh, yeah.
2025.
That
The
was
man
tough.
couldn't get service.
And
so.
he's supposed to be taking me duck hunting for the first time this year, so I'm looking forward to that.
Taking you duck hunting for the first time.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to trying it out. He said he's going to take me. Find out what all the
Jeez.
fuss is about.
All right, before we get into the show, we're going to talk a lot about photography, and Ed just got back from a awesome trip in Alaska. We're going to hit up that and some other duck hunting stuff.
Yeah, we got all kind of stuff to get into.
We got a show zipper.
We do. This is going to be a good one, I think. This one's the old.
It opens the
rugged
same
road.
way every time.
Yeah,
There you
well, they need to get with the program.
go. This is not the first time.
All right,
You need
so
to slap some direction in there for your boy.
round one, we had exactly 3 bush apples,
Have you ever had the bush apple?
I have not.
Oh my gosh,
And
you're
then-
in for a treat.
and
This
then
is-
for when the bush apples run out, we've got some regular lattes.
but we did
Grab Owen a free sun out of there.
Oh, when
Ain't got nothing for me.
when some of this ice melts, I'll run a cup to it and hand it to you.
But we did the bush light on a previous episode, so we thought we would break out the bush apple for this one. So you can drink as many bushes as you'd like, but remember this one because we'll do the review on it at the end of the show.
I think this
Right.
is a fall classic too. Good way to kick off.
Hey, it's
Actually,
red and blue. I can't go wrong.
you know,
What's not to love?
it's only available like in the summer.
Yeah.
I only saw it one time. I bought
And
it.
it's a summertime
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it flies off the shelf.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even know they grew apples in the Midwest. So
I don't know that the apples came from the Midwest, but they found their home. I can assure you that. So with that, Ed, you want to just kick us off, and why don't you give us a short little history of Wall Media and how you got your start, and then we'll jump into some of the up to date stuff.
All right. Man, just years and years ago, I bought a puppy and wanted to take some pictures of him while we were hunting. So I didn't know anything about cameras. Talked to a couple people, did a little research, bought a pretty decent camera, and spent a lot of years taking a lot of bad pictures. But really loved doing it and wanted to get better at it. So I tried to learn everything I could about cameras, and seemed like every time I went hunting, I took my camera with me, and somewhere along the way, I started taking some decent ones, and kind of went on from there. And it went from a hobby to people actually reaching out wanting to pay me, and which is a whole different deal. It's still wild to even think that people pay me for it now, but it was really wild back then, and it got to more and more people reaching out, and so I decided, I think I'm gonna go all in and try to do this for a living, and it's the best decision I've made. It's been been a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing to me is like somebody that does this as a side gig, and you started out doing that, and then like making that leap. Like just me thinking about quitting a job where somebody's paying you, and then going into another job where you are like, if you're not working, you're not getting paid.
Yeah,
Like,
if you're taking bad pictures, you're not getting paid.
Yeah,
and-
that's a big leap.
yeah,
So-
for sure.
How long did it take before you started craving the camera more than the gun?
It really didn't take that long. Anybody's had a new puppy, the first year you're kind of your focus is a whole lot more on the dog than actual
You kind of
shooting.
put your gun down naturally
Correct.
anyway.
So it kind of fell in line there where I'm not at that point. I'm more concerned with my dog and making sure he's doing right and not breaking and all this stuff. And it was just kind of natural that I'm holding the camera instead of gun, and so getting the one or two good pictures his first couple of seasons that I actually took of him, I really enjoyed that just as much as everybody loves shooting to a big group of shovelers, but I mean it's. But
Did
actually,
he say
capturing
something funny?
actually capturing some good images, like it really got me fired up to try to get better at it. And after the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 seasons, I, for sure would much rather do it with a camera. We were at the island, Lost Break. It's been 3 or 4 years ago, and the season ended on a Monday, and everybody had left except me and Brooks and Murray. And he said, "Hey, why don't y'all stay? We'll hunt the last day on a Monday." I said, "Man, I ain't gonna know where to be." So he talked Murray into it. And he's like, "Eddie, we had just hammered him that at the end of that season, so I had tons and tons of footage." And he's like, "Man, leave that camera tomorrow and take a gun." I was like, "All right." And he said, "I just want to see one more group do it." And I said, "Okay." So literally the first group of the morning, like 5 gadwall just pour in, just as pretty as you can, with sunny southeast wind, which never happens. And the river had just gotten low enough for us to finally stand instead of having to hunt out of blinds. And they just did it perfect right in the sunlight. And we shot into them, shot 4 of the 5. And all I could think was, man, that'd have been a great clip right there.
That's when you knew.
Yeah.
That's when you knew it was gone.
Yeah. And so it was, and the next group is the same thing. It was 4 mallards, and we rained them out. And I was just like, man, I wish I'd been videoing that one.
That's
And so,
love there.
Yeah,
You
for
should
sure.
have had Owen there. You could have been
Well,
hunting
Owen was like 11 then. So
Well, you're what? You're 13 now?
he'd had to wear a life jacket the whole time.
Yeah.
When the
Basically
boat's in
would've.
motion.
And
Yeah.
from where you started, now you've got a lens I think's bigger than Owen.
Older than Owen.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. That's awesome, dude. There's such a you hear the same thing like for the people that stick with it. It's always like, man, one day I picked it up and never looked back. It's not really any in between. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of like, I feel like Owen's the same way that he,
no doubt.
like I've had a bunch of guys that have done a little bit of work for me and a lot of work for me, but you can tell when somebody like really, really loves it. And it didn't take long for me to notice that Owen's got that same kind of gear that I do as far as like just love holding that camera. And honestly, that's what you're looking for. So, even if somebody's not great at it in the beginning, because I was really bad for a lot of years, but if they really enjoy it, you can get better. And you do something long enough, you're going to get better at it more than likely. And so, yeah, I could tell early on that Owen had that same gear, same love and passion for it. So,
Yeah, it's all I want to do is just work, take pictures.
So
Take pictures, that's all.
I saw you working in the Grove. It didn't look like a lot of work to me.
I was working in the Grove.
he was working in the Grove.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll say, I'll
I
vouch
wish
for
that's
it.
what
He
I
was
wish that's
working.
what my work looked like.
I've seen him do it before. So just out of perspective, like last year, let's take for instance, how many days did you spend in the field? And Owen, you can weigh in on this too. How many days did you guys spend in the field? And then how many of those days are you actually like pulling the trigger versus running a camera?
I actually know this. I've got a spreadsheet on my computer that's got every day I've hunted since like 2013. It's got every hunt I've been on, who I was with, where it was, how many ducks we killed, all that, like notes about it on every hunt I've been on for the last 11, 12 years. And this past season, I think I hunted 71 days, or I was in the field 71 days. I think I took a gun 5.
Wow.
The season before, it was 80 days, and I took a gun 4. And so
I'm not keeping track yet. Probably need to start doing that.
he probably takes a gun less than I do.
Yeah, I would.
Be
I
honest.
would think so. I mean, you're working most of the times when you're in the field. You're
Well,
working.
let me rephrase. I videotaped him killing a turkey this year.
Oh, nice.
So I haven't carried a gun on a turkey hunt in I don't know 7-8 years for sure. But I actually went and filmed him on one hunt that he screwed it up, and then actually filmed him killing one later on in the season. So maybe he does get to hunt more than I do.
Well, and I could
I
say
don't know.
too. Go ahead.
I feel like I hunt a decent bit to balance it out, but it's definitely 95% work during season.
Well, you will
for sure.
chase deer.
I'm gonna say he
Now,
does
you,
some
you'll
deer
get
hunting
on the
stuff.
deer. You'll get on the deer pretty tough.
If I like hunting wise, deer versus duck, I'm more deer.
Yeah.
That's just me personally hunting. But working and filming wise, ducks all day. Sitting in a deer stand for 12 hours gets kind of boring sometimes.
Yeah.
Not to throw us off course. We opened these beers just like let them air out or something. Like,
Oh,
wait,
I'm
can we?
fine.
Can
You
we?
can
All right, we
drink
can go ahead and
anytime
drink
you
this.
wanna drink
I didn't want to lead us
Mine's
off
halfway-
right here.
No, I've
mine's
already
halfway
had
gone.
some.
Oh, I haven't even noticed. I was like, man, are they just not going to drink
Mine's
these things?
halfway
No,
gone. They're
you-
delicious.
I didn't know what
I mean,
the
it's-
protocol was.
If you
They're
finish
delicious.
that one, we'll get another one.
Yeah, I don't know. I was watching you, wondering what you're waiting on. I said
I mean, ain't it?
he must be celibate.
And it
Hold
showed.
on.
shows
On that was first sip.
That was
Bush
it. That's
apple.
actually a lot better than I was
No,
expecting.
pretty dang
it's,
good.
It's pretty good. I was
That
surprised
actually is
too.
really
My
good.
only complaint is that you cannot buy them.
Yeah, we had 3.
Yeah, and I went. So I was on my way to Starkville for work. Stopped at a gas station. Just to use the bathroom. I walk in there. There's a case of Bush apple laying on the floor. If I knew then what I know now, I would have bought all that they had.
Oh, they had more than.
Oh yeah,
okay.
there's more than one case, and I'd have bought them all. But I only bought
They're
one.
very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
that's
Oh, yeah.
actually. I didn't think it was going to be very good. I mean, I love Bush Light, but I was like, man, Bush
You ever
Apple.
had an Angry Orchard?
I don't know.
So I like those, but they're heavy, and that's kind of what I expected this to be like. This is a beer, but
Yeah, it's actually-
it's refreshing.
Yeah.
But I'll say this about the turkeys. For somebody that's never really done anything behind the camera, I've helped Chris a few times. I could see enjoying a turkey hunt from behind a camera just as equally as from behind a gun. Like
Yeah,
that-
for sure.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
very much so.
Getting a turkey hunts can be tough. You talking about taking some bad turkey videos? I did a bunch of those.
how many turkeys did you mess up trying to film them?
Brooks Tinsley will tell you all of them, but I'm definitely bumps. I mean, you're carrying. I
Oh,
carry
yeah.
2 tripods, and I'm running 2 to 3 cameras,
Mhm.
2 big cameras, and then a GoPro. And I've kind of, trial and error. You mess up enough turkeys or not get them in focus enough, you kind of learn why you're not.
I bet it makes you a better turkey hunter too.
100%, and like figuring out where to set up. That you've got to kind of think, all right, your hunter's here. Where's the turkey most likely going to come from? He's going
Mhm.
to come from over here. All right, so I want to get. He's probably going to shoot him right here because my objective is I want to have the turkey here, the hunter here, and me where we're all 3 in line. Where the shot you want is the hunter and the turkey in the same frame.
Mhm.
And so, it's tough to do because it's
Mhm.
it's tough to kill one, much less
Right.
get a turkey and a hunter in the same frame. But I bumped quite a few of them over the years. This past season was, there's not a second place. I filmed 20 turkeys getting killed, and of those 20, I got 42 kill shots.
Wow.
And not like the kill shots I used to get where they were all right or they were
Mhm.
out of focus or obstructed. Like they were, I would say, of the 20 turkeys I filmed getting killed, like probably 15 of them were like I was like,
Solid.
Put it on
wow, that was-
TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
And I had, I think 3 or 4 where, so I always have like my big camera on my big tripod that's right here in front of my face, and I'm filming like this, and then I set a stationary camera or static camera behind the hunter, like or where I can reach him, and it's more of a wide angle, so I can get the hunter
Mhm.
and the turkey in, and then I'll take a GoPro and set it literally like the other side of the hunter right there, and just set it up real quick. And
Right.
so you're probably not, you're gonna get it if they shoot it most likely on something. But I had like I said, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them this year where I got it on 3 different cameras, and so it was, when you can kind of cut, when you're editing, you can cut back and forth between the 3
Yeah.
different 3 different views. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is
So-
cool. Well, man, tell us about this trip that you just got back from. I mean, this is like objectively the trip of a lifetime. I mean, there are some people that'll go their whole lifetime without seeing some of the stuff that,
For sure.
that you've seen. So, kind of give us how did you end up there? Where were you, and what was that like?
It was man, obviously I love photographing ducks and turkeys, and I mean just about anything. But I don't know why, but 2 or 3 years ago, I really, for starters, I just wanted to go to Alaska. Like I've been fortunate to go a bunch of really awesome places, Prince Edward Island, all over Canada, the West Coast, and seen some really pretty things. But the last frontier is the one place I hadn't been. It and the Snake River are like the 2 that are on my list, and so I really wanted to go. I wanted to go film grizzly bears in Alaska, and had done a bunch of research and just happened upon someone this summer, and that does it, has a place up there. And so he and I talked, and I was like, man, you only live once, and I'm gonna go do it. And so worked out where we could film some Drake content while we're there too, and we just got it all booked and talked one of my buddies into going with me, which was kind of wild. That I was like, hey, you want to spend a bunch of money to go watch me take pictures? He said, yeah, matter of fact, I do. And so he went with me.
Thought you'd never ask.
Yeah, and I really didn't know what to expect. And we got up there. We flew into Cold Bay, Alaska, which is super remote.
Where like Alaska's huge,
So
but where is that in Alaska?
And the Aleutian Island chains, basically the southwest peninsula that goes out into the Bering Sea.
Yeah.
It's towards the tip of it. It's
So you're out there.
It's like almost Russia.
literally it's
Could you see Russia?
nah, you can't see.
You may be closer to Russia than the United States.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you're standing in the United States.
Well, I mean, like
you're a whole lot closer
the
to the lower
continental
48.
United States.
Yeah.
than you are.
Yeah.
So anyway, we flew into Cold Bay, and I wasn't really prepared for how remote this. Like, they don't have a school, they don't have a fire department, they don't have They had one store there. It's like a general store. I was like, man, I gotta have a Diet Coke, and they were open like 3 or 4 days a week from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
How do they even make a living?
I wondered. I don't really know. I didn't dig that far
The
into
rent's
it.
probably pretty cheap.
There's only like 40 or 50 people. The population's like 40 something.
That's wild.
So there's not a lot of people up there, but it's super remote. It's surrounded by the entire town is surrounded by the Eisenbeck Wildlife Refuge, and so it's literally like out in the middle of the bush or the tundra, whatever you want to call it. There's this little town right there, and so we flew in there, and then we had where we actually went to film bears was even further. It was a 24-mile boat ride out to this, like, as remote as I've ever been. There's this little bitty cabin out in the middle of nowhere, and where this guy's, he built this little cabin there because there's this spot where these salmon, it's this lake, and it's got basically like these little bitty streams that are, this wide, that run all through this lake that's anywhere from 2 or 3 inches deep to knee deep. And these salmon are swimming up through there, trying to go up where it necks up, and it goes into a freshwater lake where they're trying to go into spawn. And so as they're swimming up through this lake, these bears and wolves are watching, and when that tide starts coming out and they start splashing around and running out of water to swim in, they come out and get on them pretty quick. And so
That's crazy.
we we went out there the first morning, and seeing a big bear for the first time was it's cool. Right after it broke day, there was one 400 or 500 yards away. I was like, man, it's a grizzly bear, a big brown bear there. It's like, it's crazy. And then all of a sudden, my buddy Andy was like, hey, right here. And I looked to my right, and about 70 yards is a really big one. I was like, oh, wow. All right.
It's a little close.
Yeah. And so,
How many pair of underwear did you take to Alaska?
and so, it was cool to watch them. And it was getting that close to something that's, I mean, obviously at the top of the food chain. And
No,
they're
yeah.
they're
Yeah,
almost 1,000 pounds, aren't they?
yeah, those coastal brown bears can get even bigger than that. Like they can get,
Wow.
I think, 1,400 pounds.
Did you ever have one to where like it stood up on its back legs and you saw just how big it is?
Yeah, yeah. There was one that when they're out there in this lake, it was crazy. They're listening. They can hear that splash, and they'll turn and see a salmon over here. They're listening and watching, and one of them is pretty good size. When he stood up on his hind legs, looking, and I was like, "Wow, that's Joe's tall."
How tall you figure he was?
Man, I don't even know. 10 feet or so.
God,
Golly.
that's big.
Dude, that is massive.
So to put that in perspective, we have 11-foot ceilings.
And, he
yeah.
may not have
Here.
been that. It may have been, 8 or 9. He looked like he was about 28
he's
feet
dunking
tall.
to walk
Oh,
through
yeah.
the door.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
No
he would
doubt.
definitely have to do that. But the
That's massive.
the big one, there's one really big one that we saw just about every time out there, and he was the one that got closest. I posted a video this morning of him. He's 100 yards away, and he starts chasing this salmon. What kind of swims over this way and that way, and all of a sudden he gets to about 50 yards, and I see the salmon turn, and he's just swimming right at my camera, and I'm behind the lens snapping pictures and video, and this bear is looking down, chasing the salmon through the water, and he's just running right at me, and I'm thinking, okay, well, and we're literally, it's this big lake
Let's dance.
this big lake that's this deep, and there's a patch of grass the size of the living room that we're sitting on that has no cover. It's this tall, and he's running straight at us. And
Y'all are just literally in the wide open.
yeah, we're sitting out in the wide open, as wide open as you can be. There's just as much coverage.
There's no height.
We were basically sitting on this table in the middle of the lake, right there. It was just because it was dry ground.
And
but-
is it just because they've never seen people that they're not bothered by you?
so I'll get to that.
Yeah.
From what my research, not that I know anything about bears, but anyway, he's coming towards me, and of course I'm shooting a big lens, and through that lens, I usually I can tell how close a turkey is or something, by, because I've seen enough of them through that viewfinder, knowing how close they are. But a 9.5 foot brown bear running at you, I wasn't really sure. I knew he was close, but I wasn't sure just how
starting
close.
to fill up the frame.
Yeah, and so I realized, man, I'm running out of room, like trying to keep him in this frame.
Yeah.
And I can't get his whole body in this frame. He's close, and of course I've got it right here, and I may have actually been looking through the eyepiece, but the salmon kind of turns and goes to my left, and when he does, he starts to turn and he sees me, and he pulls up, and we lock eyes. And I leaned back from that camera, and I was like, man, he's real close. He's about 15 yards.
15
And
yards.
he kind of slows down and stops and looks back at me a second time. And then he went on about his business, and I was like, all right, well, that got my blood flowing there.
That
All right,
that
so-
video is so epic too, because you can literally see the drool like just streaming. Because you shot it slow mo, so
Yeah.
like you can literally just see this drool. Have you seen the video that he's talking about?
I don't guess.
Oh my
I posted
God,
this
dude.
morning.
Dude, it's
But-
unbelievable.
Yeah, I hadn't
It's,
really been on Instagram.
You can
today.
see the drool just streaming out, and he runs along and then stops, and he's like,
Yeah, he,
Oh, hey.
he kind of pulls up and just like we lock eyes, and I kind of just lean back a little bit, like, I'm sitting right out here.
You're lucky
on the
that one
bleeding
was a
side.
pescatarian.
Yeah,
"What was your buddy doing while this is going on?" Because he's behind.
He's right
you
behind
with
me.
the phone. Feel like
and there's a part where you see, if you watch the phone video that he shot, where it kind of like obscurely because he was reaching for his pistol, and yeah,
he was
and
getting ready.
And I was thinking, I don't know how much confidence I have in him to stop a charging brown bear, but it's better than what I had.
What is the law on that? I mean, because I know in Mississippi, you better have claw marks on you before you shoot a black bear.
I think it's around the same. But when you asked me, so I did the research I did. So you've got different types of brown bears or grizzly bears. Inland bears, like the bears you see in Yellowstone, are grizzly bears, and they're substantially smaller than the bears I was photographing, which are coastal brown bears. They're basically the same exact bear, but they're called different things based on the region they're in.
Mm-hmm.
So inland bears, they're more aggressive because there's less food,
Mm-hmm.
and they're smaller because there's less food versus your coastal brown bears and Kodiak brown bears there's such an abundance of food.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many salmon swimming up through here. So this bear sees me at 15 yards and probably not real sure what I am, but doesn't necessarily see me as a threat or food, especially when there's all these salmon just swimming around right in front of him that he knows he can catch and knows. So I think it's more of that. Basically, what the guide told us was, the only times you're going to get into a bad situation is, anything mom and cubs, you're running a little risk there. But the main thing is, like, you can't walk around out there. Like, they have these alders that are so thick, you can't really see through them. You cannot walk through them. And so the only way to get around, there's these trails. And it's basically like how cattle on an open field, if you've ever been one, you'll see they walk the exact same trail every time. And it'll be a wide open field, but it's this bare beat down trail because these cattle are walking the same trail. Well, bears have made trails through these alders and through this brush, and that's the only way to walk around out there. So you have to walk.
So you're utilizing a bear trail.
Correct, to move, essentially.
Sounds like a good idea.
And there was one afternoon at lunch, we went and tried to do a little fishing, and the guide said, "Hey, I'm gonna go check on the boat. If y'all want to head back to camp, you got two options. You can walk all the way around the beach. It's gonna be a mile and a half, 2 miles that way, or you can see the camp right there. It's probably 4/10, half mile that way. So, but that way you got to, walk that trail." And I was like, well, I don't know that I want to walk 2 miles and I can walk half a mile, but in hindsight, so he was like, all right, well, here, go ahead and hold the spray, get your pistol out. And he's like, y'all just talk to each other real loud the entire time. Cause basically most of the times from what I've seen and what I was told that people get attacked is you're walking this bear trail because it's the only way to navigate the landscape, and you can't really see anywhere in front of you, and these bears will just lay down and rest right off this trail like a couple feet. You come around a corner of one of these alders, and all of a sudden you're 4 feet from a 9-foot brown bear, grizzly bear, and you startle them. And once you startle them, then
They're going to defensive.
Correct.
Right.
So he said, look, y'all talk real loud, make sure they know where you are, and you ought to be fine. So we're walking back, and we came upon a big pile of bear crap right there that looked like it still had steam coming off it. And Andy turns around and looks at me, and I was like, man.
Maybe we
You
should
would've
have
went for a
stroll on the beach?
Maybe we should have went the long way.
And I was like, you got one in the chamber, correct? So, and I mean, it was fine, but I think the coastal brown bears, it's I think it's safer just because there's such an abundance of food that they're not actively out looking for it and going, hey, this guy right here might be tasty. Right. They've just got so much food there at their disposal. And so, but like I said, mom and cubs, or you startle one is when you get into some trouble.
We were kind of told the same thing when we went to Glacier National Park in Montana. The grizzly,
those would be the inlands, though.
Yeah, but the bears that they have in Glacier, there's no salmon run in Glacier because it's all glacier runoff the water. There's nowhere for them to run to. So all the bears that are in Glacier are basically herbivores. Like, they just eat berries, fruits. There's an abundance of vegetation out there at Glacier National Park. So that's like, there's really no concern for you grizzly bears as opposed to like the inland bears in Yosemite where they're pretty dangerous.
Yeah. There's we go to Canada we've been to Alberta we're leaving in 2 weeks. It's only like 2 hours from Banff, and I've been trying to photograph this bear there this will be the 3rd year. This like most famous bear in the world. They call him the boss, and like there's all kinds of stuff out on the internet about him. I've actually reached out to people trying to get some hints about where he is. I've actually made like this map based off of footage I've seen off of TikToks and YouTubes. And
what makes him famous? Just because how big he is?
He's I think he's like 27 years old, which bears don't typically live that long. I think their age range is like 20 to 25. He's a massive grizzly. Like I want to say like 800 pounds, which is huge for a grizzly. And they've obviously got him collared and know exactly where he is at all times. But the biologists say that he's sired about 70% of the bears in Banff National Forest.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, and so he's been hit by a train twice. Like dude's a beast.
He's boss.
Yeah, I mean literally. And so, I think this could be his last year. And so I'm actually going up early and staying late to go try to photograph this bear. And there's 0.0% chance I'm going to find him. But I'm not going to.
How cool would it be though?
I can't kill him on the couch,
Right,
So I've made a map and I've got this area that I'm going to cruise and just hope.
The level of research that you put into like tracking this bear that's it's 2,000 miles away,
and like needle in a haystack doesn't begin to describe.
Yeah.
And so
what's so crazy about bears like that, and obviously not this bear, it sounds like he's had a lot of human interaction, but like the ones out on the coastal Alaska, based off how remote it is, we talk about have they ever seen a human before. I was listening to Steve Ranella recently, and he was telling a story about when they wiped out the mammoths on the continent, and at the time those mammoths had never seen humans before. So they could just walk right up to them. Mammoths are ginormous. They're looking at humans thinking, there's no way that little thing's a threat. And then boom, they're So it's kind of interesting too that, you've got these bears out on this remote place, get 15 feet of you and go, huh.
Yeah, that's the way. I think that's the way a bunch of bears in Katmai are. They're just so habituated to people that and have been around them so much. Like a lot of times I think initially that probably scares them. They know especially if they've been hunted to, move away from them. But like in Katmai where you can't hunt them, and there's a lot of people that go to photograph bears there. They've just so habituated that they don't even act like you're
Do
there.
they have a season in Alaska for grizzlies?
Yeah, October 1st opened yesterday.
Really? Is it like
there's
a
actually
tag situation or what?
There's actually a guy that called me today and was like, hey, somebody sent me this video. He got my number from somebody and said, somebody sent me this video and that you took and of this bear in Alaska, and it's exactly where I'm going to hunt. And I was like, really? And so he called me this afternoon. He's like, can I call you now? I was like, yeah. So he called me, and literally he's, a half a mile from where I was.
So, he's liable to kill one of those bears.
Yeah. And so he said he went to the same spot last year, but the salmon run had already quit when he got there, which will probably be the same situation this year. So those bears won't be.
Do you think that's by
area.
design?
Probably.
Like they staggered the season that way?
That makes sense, because if you didn't, it would be pretty easy.
It'd be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Correct.
Hey, anybody need a refill?
I'm good now. I'm still sipping on this
I'll take
apple.
one.
The cool thing about it up there, though, which I really didn't. It was such a huge bonus. Was like I went up there to go film bears, and there was this pack of wolves that, you see a bunch of bear footage. There's people out there that photograph bears all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I realized that I hadn't really seen a whole lot of wolf footage and wolf pictures and stuff, and because they're just, they're tough and they're tough to get pictures of, but there was this pack of like 5 of them, and they set up on this ridge to the north of this lake, and in these alders, like you'd see them up there, and they're bedded down, and they're just sitting up there waiting for that tide. And as soon as it started, man, those fish started splashing. All of a sudden you wouldn't see them, and all of a sudden they'd appear in the lake, and they'd come running out there, and they'd sit there for a second and look around, and as soon as one splashed, buddy, game over.
How many wolves was it?
It was 5 of them.
Okay.
And we saw them every day, and they just literally, they're in the same spot on this ridge. It was to the north of this lake, probably 300 or 400 yards from us, and they were somewhere within a 500-yard radius on that ridge all day, every day. And they actually came out late one day, and there's 3 of them, looked like 3 kids out there wrestling and fighting.
Oh, man.
And so
What's the population of wolves and
No
grizzlies
clue.
up there?
I have no clue. There was, it was 5 where I was. I know for sure, but beyond that, I don't know. Like I said, and just looking on YouTube and doing research, like there's just not, or at least I didn't find a whole lot of like footage on wolves. And so there's plenty of stuff with bears out there and some, awesome photographs and video and stuff, but just not a lot on wolves. So it was like, it's a really cool bonus to get. I actually posted something tonight where this one came out. He just literally appeared out of nowhere. I looked at him. This rainstorm had blown in, and I was like trying to make sure get my rain cover on my camera. And I look up, and he's just running right at me, and the sun is shining, but it's pouring rain, and you can see rain just pouring in the video. And I think I put in the post, like any photographer will tell you, when something like that happens, you can buy more camera gear. You can't recreate a wolf just running at you.
doubt.
And so he runs up there and chases a salmon to about 25, 30 yards from me when he grabs him. And I was like, oh man, that was, in the moment, I was like, man, that was good. Like it was super fun to watch. And it was photographers, will tell you, like, before you even look at I'll snap a picture and I don't have to look at it. I either know it's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll have, there'll be some variations of it. But when you take a good one, hey, this was a good one. I don't even have to look at it. So, the lighting's right, everything. And I'm watching this wolf just trot, coming right at me, looking right at the lens. And it's just, I can see the raindrops hitting. I'm going, man,
That's
this
so
about to be
freaking
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, we've already talked about 3 species of animals that you saw that I've never seen in person. What other cool animals did you see while you were up there?
this is going to be wild, but puffins. You know what a puffin is?
I don't.
You know what a puffin is?
I saw a picture. You sent me a picture.
So there's, I don't know why, but I've seen they're not ducks, they're just birds, but they're kind of like sea ducks, but they're birds. And they don't even look like they're real creatures. They look like, it's like if Toucan Sam had on a tuxedo to me. Like, that's what it looks like to me. They're a wild looking bird. And years ago, I'd seen these,
I'll look one up.
like these videos, these puffins, and like people were like right up there next to him, like they're walking around. And I was like, man, is that real? I was like, that's a real bird.
Oh, wow. I have seen these.
All right. So we saw a bunch of puffins, and I was like, man,
you got a nice little tuxedo.
yeah. I was like, I got to get a picture of puffins. So I actually got some pretty good stuff with some puffins, which was, I was like, man, that's all
a
right.
bonus.
Yeah, that is
So,
cool.
we saw some sea otters.
Apparently, those jokers are mean. Or am I getting that confused with the river otters?
I'm not sure.
One of those are mean.
I think river otters. My wife wants an otter so bad. It's
you need to nip that in the bud.
buddy. She's no lie, sent me 4 messages today on Instagram with otters pop up in my feed.
Otter content.
That otter content. That's how much stuff she sends me about otters.
I know where two
Where
otters
did
And I was
are
like,
sitting
what
right
do you?
now.
She's
Where
like,
did
we've
that
got a
start?
pool. I don't. She
You know where
wants.
some otters are?
I know where two are right now.
Can you get one for a pet? Is that legal?
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
I have no idea.
I guess it's like having
You
like
can
a
have an otter,
raccoon.
but you can't have a pit bull.
Right. I think it's like. I mean, it'd be like having a raccoon or
You
something.
can have a pit bull, but you can't have an otter.
So I mean, like apparently they make okay pets, and I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of like everybody thinks
be
they want a
cool.
monkey until they get a monkey.
Oh man!
You know,
I know for a fact there is a species of otter that is a mean son of a gun.
I think it might
Really?
be sea otters. That might be. I don't know. She's about 2 more otter posts from getting blocked. So real talk.
Erin said she was going to listen to this podcast. So.
Well, cut that part out when you're editing. But anyway, no. But so
Send her a pin of where those otters are.
we saw some sea otters, and like this dude's like he's got like this, I don't know what it was, some sort of vegetation from the ocean that he's like found some scrap wood floating somewhere and is like wedged this vegetation. And this dude looks like he's in a hammock. He is laid back and he's got his hands propped up on like the side and he's got his feet kicked up. And I was like, that dude just needs a pair of sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And he looks
Straight
like he's just out there
chilling.
sunbathing,
Margarita
just laid up
wheel.
like
Yeah.
this. And I was like,
Coconut with a
look at this thing.
umbrella
Yeah.
straw
And
on
so like we're riding back through the ocean and I'm trying to take pictures, which is luckily one of the motors had gone out. So our,
Luckily, one of the
I was not excited, but it was supposed to be like an hour and 15-minute boat ride, and it was a 4.5 hour. So we went from 24 miles an hour to 6 coming back. So I was like, well, I got 4.5 hours to kill. And all of a sudden I was like, is that a puffin? And I was like, oh yeah, there's puffins everywhere. And I was like, oh, don't
Here
mind
we
if I
go.
do. And I'm pulled out that lens. And he was like, yeah, there's gonna be some sea otters up here. And I was like, never photographed one of those.
How big are they?
They're pretty big. Like they're
they're bigger than people think.
Oh yeah, like I was like they're like when you've been hunting before or something, deer hunting, you've seen like a little otter, and they're like 5-6 times that big. Like they're
wow.
maybe
Dang.
not, maybe 4 times.
That's what Aaron needs.
Like it looked like it
sea
was.
otter.
It looked like not counting tail, just like from his nose to the start of his tail, he looked like he was this big. And I was like, damn,
Yeah,
That's like a small seal.
It literally looked like he was like halfway between like what we know as a little river otter, that's this big, and a seal.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of seals too,
Did you?
and saw a big gray whale actually.
Oh, that's
awesome.
cool.
yeah, actually breached and full body out of the water, splashed. And I was like, so we boated over there. We were riding around one day at lunch taking sea duck pictures, and this project I'm working on, but. This whale breaches and we see him a half mile off, and I was like, let's go see if we can.
Yeah.
And so we ride over there, and 10 seconds later he breaches again. I was like, oh man. So by the time we got over there, it's actually like 3 or 4 of them. They were just kind of porpoising, they never really, they'd come pretty good ways out of the water, but not like actual breaching.
That's the biggest animal you've ever seen in person, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I could only see this much of his back coming up out of the water, so it didn't really look that big.
You didn't see any like killer whales or
No,
anything?
didn't see any
Don't
killer
they have
whales.
those up there?
Yeah, they do. And I was so naive. I was like, I don't know what they have. I was like, what do y'all have up here? Like, it's a wild place up there for sure.
Yeah, it's a different world.
I mean, for all I know, a kangaroo could have come hopping out of the bushes. I've been like, well, they got kangaroos up there apparently. I had no, I didn't know, but
what was the temperature like?
it wasn't that bad. I usually don't get cold. Like anybody that's hunting with me, I usually just wear a hoodie and waders, and it's got to get below about 30 before I'm gonna put on a jacket because I'm constantly moving around, carrying a camera, and doing. You very seldom do I get cold. And I looked, and it was gonna be like the lows were in the mid 40s and highs were in the low 50s, so it was like gonna stay within a 8-degree mark there. And so I really didn't. I took like 2 hoodies. And because he was like, hey, pack light, like, you're not going to be able to really wash clothes and stuff. So I took a handful of T-shirts, some underwear, and like these 2 hoodies and this little light rain jacket, waterproof jacket. And the first day I got both the hoodies soaking wet. And I was like, okay, all right, well, should have brought the rain jacket. It looked, sun's shining. And I was like, oh, you didn't tell me that it rains every hour and a half, every 90 minutes up in Alaska. It just pours down raining for 4 minutes. And then you're. So I was like, man, I got all right. So I got both my hoodies wet. All right, this ought to be interesting. And we don't have any way to dry them, so I had to hang them over a wood burning stove at night, try to get them dry. But it was a little bit, honestly, like I actually got a little chilly a few times because that wind coming off that ocean, that Bering Sea, hits a little different. The wind blows hard up there.
It seemed like the wind blew the entire time you were there.
Well, there's nothing to block it. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they've got some mountains and stuff, but it's, I guess, just coming off that big water, off that, it blew a bunch, and it blew hard and nonstop. And it was, I underpacked for sure.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
So how long was the boat ride from, like, what was it, Coal Bay to Volcano Bay? So how long was that? You had to. That was the boat portion, right?
Yeah. So
how long was that?
About an hour and 15 minutes. It was like 24, 26 miles, something like that. But coming back, it was 4.5 hours.
Because you were down a motor.
Yeah, we'd gone 58 yards, and the motor goes out, and I was like, I don't think he gonna get this thing up on pan with this one motor. So we just kind of bopping along at 6 miles an hour, and so I was like, man, we're going to...
I literally... Good opportunity to photograph puffins.
Well, I pulled out my computer, and I was like, well, I'm going to sit here and edit. I sat in the back of this boat, and we're in the ocean going up and down and editing for probably 2 hours. And all of a sudden, I look up, and I see this. I was like, this bird flying by, and I was like, is that a puffin? And I was like, hey, man. I was like, hey, that black and white. I was like, was it a puffin? He's like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. And I was like,
We're underdressed.
Peter down. Let me grab this camera. And so, and you probably never tried to photograph stuff in the ocean, but it's not easy.
It's hard enough to photograph a duck when you're sitting still on a tripod and everything, much less in a boat that's porpoising. And
yeah, when you got it, like you got him in the center frame, and all of a sudden he's 9 feet above the frame and then 8 feet below it, and you're trying to line it up. And I mean, not to sound whatever, but I actually managed to get a couple pretty good ones with the boat doing that. I was like, man, and Andy was like, because he was like, how are you gonna be able to photograph in this boat moving? And I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna try. So we got 2.5 more hours, maybe we'll do something. And so
that's cool. I can't wait to see those. That's really cool. Well, Chris, I know that you had a couple of things that you were wanting to talk about as far as gear that you were getting together for a trip that you got coming up. So I'd love to hear too some of their input camera wise on some of the stuff that you're fixing to be doing. And I know that we don't have to get too much into the trip itself.
Well, let's just talk about Ed's trip and the gear that he took for that.
Yeah, okay.
We can do mine later.
um
And then how because there was a lot of air travel there, so does you take that into consideration when you're packing, like weight and all that stuff?
yeah definitely. I mean, you want to try to, obviously, when you're carrying camera gear on planes, it's a challenge for sure. For starters, airports hate camera gear, and you're just gonna get.
Oh, you had an episode with some batteries, did you?
Yeah, I mean, I
That's
always
every-
do.
that's every
flight.
time. Yeah.
Why is that?
Oh well, because you can't have lithium batteries in the belly of the plane.
In
'cause
the
it's not-
checked,
yeah, in your check
you have
luggage.
to carry them on.
Because it's not
Explain that. What is the difference? I've never understood, like, why can you carry some things on, but you can't check and vice versa?
because
It's
the
all-
cabin is pressurized and the belly of the plane's not. So
okay.
they could explode. And I was
Gotcha.
last year in September, I was on a private jet going to Montana to film something.
Oh, you got it like that?
No, I don't. And I had to.
Wheels up.
A guy called me at 5:00 in the afternoon and said, "Hey, you want to go to Montana? This singer guy needs somebody to film a hunt in the morning." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, well, jet leaves at Fayetteville at 9." And I was like, "Damn, it's a poke up there." And I was like, "Man, it's like 7, 8 hours or something up there." And I was like, "Man, all right." So I took a private jet up there, flew commercial home, and I flew to Fayetteville. It's a pretty good flight there. And then you get off the plane, you realize, man, I got like 7, 8 hour drive now. It's not a good day. But anyway,
That
we're
sucks.
halfway to Montana, and I see the guy who owns the jet and the other guy kind of talking, whispering, and I was like, what's up? And he's like, oh, Cody left a bunch of those green propane bottles in the belly of the plane.
Oh,
was like,
nice.
Is that bad? And he was like, well, yeah, pretty bad. And I was like, Cody, if I die on this plane, because
This is after y'all had landed, or
we're
this-
halfway there. This is mid-flight.
air.
Oh, y'all are in the
Mid-flight,
air.
yeah. When we landed, he told the pilot, and I could see the look on his eyes was like,
We just skated death.
yeah, like it was maybe a bigger deal than we all thought. But anyway,
Apparently not.
they didn't blow up.
Unfortunately
and I was like,
not.
I'm just picturing in my head this green propane bottle just shooting through the side of the plane and causing a big hole in us. It's like, oh man, this is so. Anyway, but yeah, packing for trip. I mean, I'm carrying my big lens, and so I carry it with me onto the plane, and then I've got a roller Pelican that I've got. I mean, you can't fit a prayer in it. I've got so much stuff stuck in it. I actually have my laptop. I basically have to like almost stand on the lid to get it to latch with my laptop in there. And but when we got to, so you can't take all your lithium batteries have to be with you in the cabin, and you're going for a week. You've got, I don't know, a dozen batteries because you've got, I've got 3 different cameras, a drone. Everything takes different batteries, of course. You've got V-mount batteries and screen batteries. And so I've got a pile of batteries, and we get flying from Anchorage to Cold Bay, we're not taking a big plane. And they're going, and they said, hey, yeah, you can't take any of this on there. And I'm like, do you have any lithium batteries? And I was like, yeah, that whole case is full of lithium. That's all it is. Just a couple cameras and nothing but batteries in there. She's like, well, you're going to have to take them with you. And so I'm like, all right, well, I'm just carrying these batteries on the plane. I'm like, because I've got my big lens in its case, and you can, like, when I fly with it, I can get like my wallet shoved in there, and then like maybe one external hard drive, and that's about it. Like just enough for me to edit on the plane. And then when we get on the plane, I'll take my computer out of my Pelican and put my hard drive out of there. And so I was like, man, I've got 12, 14 batteries, and some of them are big batteries. I was like, man, so Andy had his backpack stuffed to the brim too. I was like, man, here, take some of these batteries and see where you got somewhere you can put them.
Why couldn't you bring the bag?
Because the bag wouldn't fit, and there was nowhere to put the. I could bring my big lens and that it's a little bag, but I couldn't bring my roller case with all the batteries in there. So I had to literally carry them on there, like in pockets, and I'm holding some of them. I got my 6 batteries in each pocket, and I was like, it's gonna be a fun flight. And then we got delayed we were supposed to fly to Cold Bay, and we had to stop in Sandpoint because the plane's leaking oil, and it's like, all right, and we get on the ground. I look out the window, and it's just pouring oil like right out of the prop. Good on the left, and so we got stuck there for 6 hours. And there's no cell phone service in Alaska unless you're on Wi-Fi. So
C-Spire doesn't have any towers up there?
Apparently nobody does. They need to make a little call to Elon and get some stuff working because like there's no cell phone service. So, but yeah, so we sat in sand, flew 5,000 miles, and I looked at my Onyx and I was like, we are 87 miles from the Cold Bay Airport. Just flew 5,100 miles, and we're 87 miles from our destination. We got stuck for 6 hours. I'm like,
That's unbelievable. Plenty of time.
Can't make that one up.
No, you can't make that one up.
I couldn't edit because my camera, I didn't have, like, it was in the belly of the plane.
Jeez.
So my computer and everything's in there, and I was like, well, I guess we'll just sit here and look at each other. And so Andy and I decided to go walk. There's the ocean or the bay or whatever's right there. And we went walking, and we ain't been gone 15 minutes just walking, looking at everything. And all of a sudden, here comes the airport police, like, hey, you can't be out here. And I was like, okay, all right, well, we've been in Alaska for 7 minutes, got the cops called on us. All right. About par for the course.
Man.
So that's awesome, man. That's a great trip.
Like I said, trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, I'm 100% going back.
I'm going with you.
Come on. It's it's something I'm definitely going to do again. And I don't know if it'll be the same spot, and I might end up going. There's several other spots that but this one was really awesome. It had a lot of bears, and it was.
Yeah. Whenever you told me you were going, I had already done some research on a very similar trip with a guy. You knew who I was talking about, but a guy that runs a guide. Like you can go online, you can book the trip.
Right.
You can go. He'll take you out there to Katmai, and basically they have tents, everything all set up for you. But you can go on there and pay to go do it. And I told my wife like 2 or 3 years ago, if I ever make some extra money in the photography business, like this is what I'll spend it on.
Yeah.
Like,
how's that working out for you?
Well, I've made some money, but I don't have any extra.
I was gonna say I don't know that you got any left.
I keep buying gear. That's the problem.
Well,
like I every time I make a little extra money, I'm like,
it's already spent.
Canon keeps dropping new cameras. If they would just quit making new cameras, I wouldn't have this problem.
Well, agreed.
So if you had to think, Eddie, in combination with the destination itself, in parallel with the animal that you were taking pictures of, where does this trip fall like in your top? Is it in your top 10, top 5?
No, it's high. I mean, it's it's up there towards the top for sure. Like I said, Alaska was on my bucket list, and the problem is like there's 1,138 different Alaskas. It's
people don't understand how big it is.
Yeah, and so
it's bigger than Mississippi.
It is. It's not by a whole lot, but it's definitely bigger than Mississippi. And so I'd like to go see other parts of Alaska. I'd love to go to Kodiak or to Katmai, and but yeah, I mean, it was one of, I would say Prince Edward Island is up there probably still at the top. And it was like, I spent 14 days there 2 seasons ago. We were filming Ducks Unlimited Television, and we filmed like 2 episodes. And then Fred Zink and the other guys left, and I stayed, and this biologist flew in, and then we hunted for 4 more days, and I filmed a short film about him and this book he was writing. But the guys, Paul McKinnon and all these guys up there, man, they made the trip. I mean, Prince Edward Island is like one of the most beautiful places in the world. But like, I just developed such a friendship with these guys. And, so that helped a lot. I mean, but Prince Edward Island's kind of been at the top of my list of places I've been.
So is that your favorite place to hunt ducks, Prince Edward Island?
I don't necessarily know it's my favorite place to hunt ducks. Like, we shot a bunch of geese there. We shot some black ducks and some mallards, but like just the island itself. It's just
Where
gorgeous.
is that?
It's
East Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've got kind of northeast of Maine. You've got Nova Scotia, and then Prince Edward Island, and like Labrador's.
I was going to say Labrador's just northeast of that.
It's like when ducks and geese migrating from Labrador, it's Prince Edward Island's like the first stop on their migration right there.
Wow.
On that Atlantic flyway.
But yeah, the guys there made the trip so good. But I mean, honestly, like, it was just such a gorgeous place. Like, I mean, these big rolling hills. I mean, just the entire place was gorgeous. And I had so much fun there. This was one of the cooler trips I've ever been on, for sure. It's up there with Prince Edward Island.
Just the wild. I mean, the 50 yards from a grizzly.
15 yards from a grizzly.
Yeah, 15 yards from a grizzly.
Yeah,
I mean,
50 wasn't so bad. 15 got my attention.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like I said, I talked to a buddy who was in Alaska the same time I was. They were moose hunting, but he said, man, it was flat where we were. It looked like the Mississippi Delta, as flat as it could be. And so I was like, man, I guess I didn't realize that, yeah, there's flat parts of Alaska too. You know, you always see stuff you see is big, beautiful mountain ranges and these, beautiful scenic shots, which we had, which was awesome. So I will definitely go back to where I went this time for sure. But I would love to go to, a couple other parts of Alaska at some point as well. Kind of see like different parts of it.
Have you ever done moose before?
I haven't. Owen has. He's killed one.
You killed a moose?
Yeah.
Killed one with bow last year.
Yep.
Where was that?
Alberta. About
Really?
30 minutes from y'all's place.
You and your dad went,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you can attest to what I was fixing to say. Then apparently, moose are like way bigger than people realize they are.
Oh, they're huge.
2,000 pounds.
They're
like, how
they're
tall
huge.
are they from the ground to the top of their back when they're standing?
Have you not seen the? It was a reel from a few years ago where there's a moose going down the median, and it's like in a town. Like, the medians is,
Yeah, it almost looks fake. It's so big.
Yeah, the median's not. It's like one of those where it's got like concrete around it. Like, it's
just
got like
grass.
trees.
Yeah.
And he's standing. His belly is taller than the car that's going next to him.
God, boys, I can't that's one of those things I physically can't wrap my head around.
Yeah, I've never
it's a
seen.
regular size four-wheeler.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, see, that's I can't wrap my head around how big that is.
They're dangerous.
Show that to
Oh yeah,
Chris.
they're
Good night of living.
There's
dude.
more people killed by
My dad
moose each
shot.
year than bears.
See, like, that's the pictures you're used to seeing, but like just the headshots like that don't do them justice.
That's a regular size four-wheeler.
Yeah, we
Monster.
the only moose I've ever seen was we it's been 5 or 6 years ago. We filmed a episode of DUTV in Northwest Alberta, like almost in Northwest Territories, and I was sitting there and I had my headphones on and I heard like this noise and I was like, I took my head, I was like, hey, y'all hear that? And they're like, what is it? I was like, it's like a,
Oh boy.
and the biologist's like, oh, that's a moose. And I was like, really? So he starts like making this call with his mouth, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, come on, man. And he's like making basically the same type noise that this moose is making, and he does it a few times for, I don't know, 2 minutes or whatever. And I don't really think, 5-10 minutes later, I was like, hey, I was like, y'all hush. I was like, I hear a deer, Mississippi boy, I hear a deer walking through water is what it sounds like to me. And I was like, I hear something walking through water. And it ain't 10 seconds later, moose comes out in the decoys. And I was like,
Wow.
well, there's the moose right there. I mean, it was a pretty good one too. And I was like, man, that sucker is huge.
Giant.
Golly.
A lot bigger than I was expecting.
When we were at Glacier, we had one walk through the camp. It was a cow, just walk.
Really?
Oh yeah, probably. They're not scared of you.
Well, they don't have much
yeah.
to be scared
So
of.
they'll just walk. It was probably 25, 30 yards. We just sat there and watched it. Just walk right through. They're
Golly.
awesome.
Yeah, I got
They're awesome.
400 pounds of deboned processed meat off of mine.
Golly.
Is it good?
Dude.
Is it
It's
good?
like
Has to be.
it's
right?
like cow and deer mixed.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty good.
So
I bring-
is it better than whitetail?
Oh, it's 100% better than whitetail.
Have you had elk?
Yeah.
Where elk or
Elk's
elk or-
more lean.
Okay.
Elk's like I wouldn't put it in the same category because moose is gonna be more like a beef. Elk's like that lean. I mean,
Elk is
elk's better
phenomenal.
than elk's
Yeah.
better than beef.
Yeah, elk is phenomenal.
Yeah, elk is good.
Very good.
Yeah, I'd like to try moose now. Put that on the list behind
all right.
coyote.
I do know my buddy that said that they
Coyote?
killed
He's gonna make me some coyote jerky.
He got it.
they killed one last week,
Killer, man.
and they were on like a do-it-yourself. I think they just got dropped off.
For moose?
Yeah, float plane.
In Alaska?
Yeah, and
Oh,
and
that's
these
sick.
are like we were more concerned with whether or not they'd make it out alive, much less like this is like
I would film that.
this. He asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to come film this?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And then he's like, "Yeah, it was $75,000 for them to have a guide," and they were like, "No, we're not gonna do that." And I was like, "Oh, you and y'all two are going alone?" No, I'm out on that. And so he shot one with a rifle, but like 250 yards from our camp, and it said it took him 10 hours to get it
back.
to
Oh,
get it
yeah.
back to the camp, and to test. Like he had said, man, he was like, man, this like walking through this tundra, and I was like, let me guess, big spongy like basketballs everywhere. And he's like, yep. And I was like, yeah, that's what we had to walk through too. And I was like, it's hard walking through it just carrying a camera. I can't imagine carrying. And he was like, man, he's like, it took us 10 hours I shot him at 250 yards and dropped him. He's like, to get it back to camp.
Owen, what's a moose hindquarter weigh? Like 200 pounds, 250 pounds? you think?
It's a couple. It's probably over 200 pounds for sure.
So
I mean, it's
you
bigger than a
throw that-
whitetail.
Throw
Like,
that back. Well, of course it's better than a whitetail.
Water, in other news, water's wet and fire's hot.
Nah, we have.
This 2,000, for you listening at home, a 2,000-pound moose's hindquarter is bigger than a whitetail's hindquarter.
This is
I
why
think he
we-
meant
No,
probably maybe bigger than
bigger
an
than
entire
a-
whitetail.
Bigger than an entire
This
whitetail.
is why we bring Owen on the show, because he never fails to bring the good information.
I mean, it's like having Wikipedia and Google right here beside you.
Chat GPT right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A moose's hindquarter is bigger than a whitetail's. Thank you, Owen. Back to you, Bob.
I meant the whole deer.
It's gonna rain.
I'm just like imagining, putting that hindquarter in your pack.
No, you ain't
No.
putting that hindquarter in your pack.
Nah.
Absolutely not.
So,
I mean,
wait,
you're gonna
so-
have to debone it on the
I
spot.
gotcha, I
Like
gotcha.
that's the only way. So luckily, I got fortunate enough where I shot mine. He actually ran to a Forest Service road and he was 30 yards off of it.
Oh, nice.
So we just went back to camp, grabbed a dump trailer, jacked him up on, brought him back to camp,
Yeah.
cleaned him. But
That's awesome.
there's a lot of pack out. Like my dad's killed 5 now, I think, and he's had a lot of like 2 days of packing out type
Dang.
stuff.
Did you shoot yours with a bow or a gun?
But
Yeah, the guy
Oh,
that
that's
called me
awesome.
today.
How far was it?
so
Can you get close? Is it pretty easy?
story behind that was I missed a giant at 115
With a
opening day.
bow?
Yeah, because I shoot 115 for big game, which is crazy, but I can
115
115
yards?
yards. I can
He's
attest to
shooting
it.
at a barn.
Yeah, you got a 45-inch
I mean,
kill zone.
Yeah, but I say the kill zone's this big on
So
them.
I mean, I self-filmed it too. I shot a tree right in front of him.
I
and
don't
it
want to
was-
underplay that. That's still super.
It was a
impressive.
50-inch bull. Like it was a. It
A
would have been
30-30 doesn't shoot 115 yards.
You're
well-
not wrong. I mean,
a. So
I remember 100 when I was a kid. Marlin 30-30 is 100 yards.
100 yards is the cutoff.
Yeah.
so I got to the spot this day. I was actually hunting out of a tree stand, and there's like natural mineral licks. It's like sulfur mud and deer, elk, moose. They all come into it, and I forgot my rangefinder.
Did you just openly admit to hunting over bait in Canada?
No, that's not bait. I think that's Archie's minion dropping off hard drives for Archie in my truck.
Okay.
Braden.
You're good.
Oh. So I was hunting out a deer stand, forgot my rangefinder, and this moose comes in. I had a cell camera there, and day before he came in at like 1. So I'm sitting there. It's like, I don't know, 2 in the afternoon, and I started like calling for him, like moaning at him.
Give us a taste.
Wait,
of that.
hold up. Wait, you're just like winging it, like with your mouth. You're just
Yeah,
making a noise.
yeah.
Give us a lick.
I
So
don't
you
know.
called
It's
it
been
into
about a year.
115. Thought it was a good shot opportunity.
This is 6 days later. This is 6 days later. Like I thought I'm going home empty-handed. So this bull comes in.
He'd already eaten all your corn.
No, there's no
That's a
bait.
great
This is
story.
natural. This is natural. So I draw back, and my peeps all twisted up, and I'm shaking, and I'm like, okay, he's got to be like 25. So I just looked down my arrow and shoot and drilled him.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Pause.
You said he's got to be 25 yards. He was 115.
No, different. Okay, let
okay,
me
so
restart. Let me restart.
Owen,
Open-
you're a
Dude, this is.
Owen, you're a great cameraman. You're a phenomenal storyteller.
I was just
suck.
thinking,
Owen,
you like,
we're
hold
going to
on.
need you to go check on those hard drives if you don't mind.
Just had
we're
a
gonna-
stroke.
And I was wondering how you must.
this is why you can't get into bars. It's not
Somehow
because
you're
your age.
mistaking 115 yards for 25.
He's
Okay,
also
hey,
on his
can I-
fourth story, and each story is 2 years apart chronologically.
Correct.
Let me restart. All
All
right.
of a sudden, he's on a lasso to kangaroo in Alberta.
So opening day.
All right, let's.
Opening day.
Of what year? Which trip?
This is last year, sometime. I don't know. I think we're.
Where's the off button? Owen, let's just leave this story.
Crazy.
No, I gotta tell
This is
you.
13 minutes of these people's lives they're never going to get back.
So we're
Is this the
Opening
same
day.
story of the bull that you shot that you just showed us a
Different.
picture of?
Tell us about the one you shot.
Okay, the one
Nobody
I shot.
cares about
I don't care. Okay.
your uncle's in 1989 that he missed. Tell us about the one you
right.
shot.
Yeah, so back on the story, one I shot. He came in to this mineral lick.
Unbelievable.
I've never in my life.
I draw back. I didn't have my rangefinder, so I was like, I'm just gonna have to guess range anyways. So I draw back, and my peep sight's like all twisted up, and I'm like, I ain't got time to let off or anything. And I was like, well, I guess he's like 20, 25 yards. So I looked down my arrow and shot and drilled him. And I self-filmed it too.
Did we not just say the one you shot at 115 yards?
No, he missed.
Oh, you missed,
Missed
at
that
He
115.
missed
That's right.
115.
Okay.
He shot at 25.
Yeah.
I'm like Ben Moss.
With
man.
no
There's
sight.
much-
You're
that's
just-
right. So
you're
many
looking
stories
down
ran
the
together.
arrow.
My eyes are crossed.
Right. Speaking of 115 yard shots, for those of you walking home, I'll put you on a little something here. If you've never seen the greatest shot in the history of the world, shout out to my man Tim Wells, the Slock Master. Just YouTube Tim Wells, Black Wolf, and scroll to the 19-minute mark. My man shoots a wolf on the move with a recurve at somewhere around 120 to 150 yards, and just, 10 rings him
It's
night.
phenomenal.
It's
I don't
unbelievable.
know if that. I don't know
The
which
baddest
is
man
more
on the planet,
impressive.
but
I don't know if that's more impressive, or the dude that I've been watching shooting ducks out of the air
With the bow?
with the bow.
Yeah, I've seen that. That is
buddy,
insane. He ain't as bad as Tim Wells, but he's pretty cool.
Tim Wells, he shot so many out of ducks. He looks at ducks now and they fall out of the air. I'm telling you, like he just mean mugs them and they fall. He's got videos from years ago of them shooting Sydney Wells shooting ducks out of the air with bow.
I'm not talking about decoying ducks. I'm talking about.
I am too. Like
okay.
this man's shooting buffalo heads out of the air.
Really?
But just go watch this wolf, Tim Wells, Black Wolf, 19-minute mark, and you're gonna go, wow.
It's amazing.
You hear, thump, thump.
Yeah,
It's like
that's
2.5 seconds of just lobs one in there and just on. That's a wolf that's trotting,
Yeah, that's
and he
wild.
just right behind the shoulder.
That's
unbelievable.
wild.
I asked him, I was like, hey, how far was that? And he's like, oh, man, I don't know. I don't carry a rangefinder. I was like, yeah, I know, but how far was it? And his response was, it was way over 100. I said, all right.
Thanks, bud. Jeez.
Wow.
Wow.
So-
Wow is right.
Yeah.
Well,
Good 9/11.
you got any big plans for this
Oh yeah, we're
Season
gonna.
coming up.
Yeah,
You going
we're
to Canada with us next week?
man, it's- I
You've been
tried.
working on that.
I'm trying to get him to
By the
go.
way, the TFT event was amazing. That was good.
Good- yeah,
Good
that
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
enjoyed it.
really good.
I
yeah,
was-
me and
I
Chris
was-
ate 35 wings.
I was happy.
We got
with
our
that.
money's worth.
That was
We-
that event was a success. I was happy with it.
I can come. But I got to bring my kid, and then when we get back, I'm gonna have to come live with you
Yeah, that's fine.
for at least. Well, I mean, I guess I could show back up home in February, and she probably wouldn't even really know the difference.
Just
but,
fine with me.
Now my wife's saying she doesn't ask for much, so she's going on. She goes on like a girls' trip, or she has something that I need to be home for about once every 7 years, and so this is one of those things, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get out of it. But if anybody wants to babysit a puppy and a 6-year-old for
Yeah.
about a week, shoot, get in them DMs.
yeah, slide.
I'll stick to
Light
it.
resume required.
I'll stick to editing and taking
Yeah.
pictures.
So now the week after that, we're going to Alberta about 2 weeks. Yeah, or 2.5 weeks or something. We're going to be there about 7-8 days. Going back to Nebraska. Obviously, we're going to Oklahoma a bunch. Going to the island in Missouri. Then a bunch of in Arkansas. But working on possibly going with some guys to Boston and New York to do some duck hunting up there.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hadn't done a whole lot of East Coast stuff. I've done a little bit, but yeah, I mean, there's the guy pitched this to me about coming to film it, and in the process, I got this idea for this picture I want to take, and if I win, it would be to take this one picture.
Yeah.
And so it would be worth it if I could get this one picture, but trying to coordinate the dates with it, so
Yeah.
it's still up in the air.
You ever done the Everglades?
I haven't.
Is that on your list?
It is not. I don't like bugs. Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
So-
that's the most pintails I've ever seen in my life.
In the Everglades?
Are you talking about duck hunting in the Everglades?
Yeah.
I
Can
thought
you
you were
do
talking
that?
about just like walking around in the Everglades, and I'm like,
No. I'm talking about hunting
Oh,
ducks.
okay. Yeah, that might be different.
I mean, it's still not cold, but
yeah, I don't think the Everglades. I don't think you're like,
No.
man, I wish I had on a sweater down here.
yeah,
You're fighting mosquitoes the whole time.
yeah. But dude, I mean, a bunch of pintails down there. It was crazy.
That would be
Mottled ducks. I mean, it was cool.
that'd be cool,
Bunch
yeah.
of teal. It was really cool.
Bunch of whistlers down there. I know that.
Oh yeah, bunch of whistlers on Lake Okeechobee.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah. I mean, I'm always up for. I've been fortunate. I've gotten to do some pretty cool hunts and see, how people, at least all over North America, hunt different stuff. Like we did the like the Great Salt Lake coffin hunt was cool. Like doing it, you're laying literally in a like coffin in 6 inches of water, and literally laying on your back with your head just tilted up a little bit and hunting, which is kind of crazy and
Yeah, it
probably
is.
the toughest filming I've ever had to do. Tough to film laying flat on your back because So, but yeah, I mean, it's getting to see how people across the country and across North America hunt different species of ducks and different methods. Something's always kind of fascinated me. The first time we ever went to Oklahoma, I don't know, I guess 6 years ago, a company hired me to go shoot a video out there, and this is how I actually met the guys from Crash Landing. But the first morning they're doing their setup and they're hunting this cattle pond, and when I say the bank is as bare as this table,
Mm-hmm.
and they're setting it up about here to the edge of this table, and they're setting up this A-frame, and I'm thinking like, what are they doing? They're just gonna set this right here on this bare bank. And I said, man, is this how y'all hunt? And Max said, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, y'all shoot him. He's like, oh yeah. And in my mind, I'm thinking these dudes ain't gonna kill sure. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna shoot a duck.
Sit here in the wide open.
I mean, you can't be more. I was like, man, y'all might as well just wear hunters. Y'all wear hunters orange out here too. Like that's what it felt like to me. And I'm like, so in my mind, I'm thinking like, there's no possible way they're gonna shoot a duck. And we shot 50 that morning.
Good grief.
And I was like, well, I'll go back over here and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
But like I said, to see how they, it's so different out there. The stuff that works in some places would never work here, and vice versa. And people just like get to see like tricks that people do that finished ducks in
You
different
know what's
parts of the
so
world. It's
interesting
pretty cool.
about that too is like a lot of those ducks are in the same flyway. So you're seeing like something.
Well, those are in a different one, but
I know. I'm
yeah,
just saying
but
in
yeah, some of
general,
them,
like, you know, you're seeing something work for somebody that, you know, good and well wouldn't work down here. But it's like we're shooting at the same ducks at one point or another. Isn't that interesting?
yeah, I mean, I think you get into the Arkansas and Mississippi Delta, I feel like even the young ducks that, you know, that in Canada see that spinner for the first time and just suck in, they've, you know, by the time they get down here, they've kind of had a few tricks thrown at them, and
They've been educated.
you know, they'll still fall for stuff, obviously, but they don't have the same education they do when they, you know, got eggshell in their back up there, and you know,
Right.
in
Not
pothole
as
region.
naive.
And so yeah, but yeah, the stuff up north probably is a little bit easier to finish them, but it's cool. Always cool to see different methods people use, and you know, so it's something I really enjoy.
So how'd you get hooked up with Drake?
Man, when I was kind of just doing this as a hobby, I guess David Frisbee, a buddy of mine, he asked me about being on the creative team, and so I was, and it was like big honor, you know, like, I mean, Drake's one of, if not the biggest waterfowl company out there, and like to have somebody like, hey man, we think enough of your stuff that, hey, we want to give you some gear for you to take pictures of. I was like, man, it's awesome. And so did that for a few years, and
See, I never knew you did that.
I did for quite a few years, and then for a few years it kind of went away, and a couple years ago, I guess it was about 2 years, a little over 2 years ago, they approached me about, you know, shooting their content and kind of running their social media and stuff, and so we kind of took it on, and it's been awesome. I mean, I've worked with a bunch of companies in the outdoor industry, and they've, for the most part, all been great, but the people at Drake are by far at the top of that list. I mean, they're absolutely just best people in the world, and they super great to work with. And so they've, you know, they're really making a push. They're putting out some awesome stuff in the last couple of years. That
It's good to see them make that push too.
they
Because
really are.
you know, a couple of years ago, like if you were somebody that walked into the blind wearing Drake, like you were the real deal. And that kind of, like you said,
that went away for a while.
Yeah,
for sure. They, you know,
and they're making that push. It's good to see.
They went through some, obviously, for some struggles for years, but man, it's been what they've done the last 2-3 years. Man, it's a whole new Drake, and
they've stepped the quality up. They've stepped a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I'm fortunate to obviously wear their new waders that are coming out all last year. And full disclosure, I was highly against it. I was very outspokenly against them making these waders.
That's out of character.
I remember us talking about it.
I begged them. I was like, please don't do this.
What's your reasoning behind that? Just because it felt like jumping on the bandwagon, or?
Well, you know, there's a market for anything. I don't know what the market is for $1,000 waders, but how big that market is, but maybe it's bigger than I think. But you know, it's like, hey, y'all, if the last 2 pairs of waders y'all made have been really great, like generally really, you know, been a whole lot better than your previous ones. And I don't know, I felt like because they had been through those few bad years prior, it was going to be tough to like turn the narrative and like show people
just
that,
a big risk to put $1,000
and so, and you know, it remains to be seen, but I can testify that after half a season, I was like, all right, I'm on board. These are legit. These are the best waders I've worn, and I've worn a bunch of waders. And I think the biggest thing is, one of my favorite things about it is the guys that are designing this stuff, actually, like the main guy, he and I talk all the time, and he knows that I'm out there 70, 80 days a year in every scenario. I'm crawling in and out of boats. I'm laying down. I'm kneeling down. I'm, you know, running around, you know, all this stuff. So I'm putting them through the test, and Jimbo, wealth of knowledge. Like they actually are asking us, hey, what do you think about this? Tell me about this, and taking it to heart and putting it into production, and that's, I told him a couple years ago, like, look, there's three, people want to stay warm, stay dry, and it's 2025. They want to look good doing it. We don't, no more baggy stuff. Like, make it where it fits you. I'm not wearing 7 jackets underneath here. Make it. So they've done it. It's been their new stuff they've got coming out. I've been super impressed with.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited about the BMF
their new
line.
waders that people are gonna be shocked.
Yeah, they're legit. I got to wear them for the second half of the season last year also, and I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah,
Thoroughly
I'm
impressed.
excited.
That whole BMF line it's really good.
I'm taking a lot of it to Canada, and then I'm looking forward to hunting with the waders this year as well.
Yeah, I mean it worked really good. I mean, the style of hunting that I do. We're racing and fighting and running and all kinds of
no shiny boot hunting.
Yeah, it's nothing easy about it. If anybody can tear up some waders, we can tear up some waders. And I wore them for a whole
And have.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I wore them for a month, and I was like, dang, these things are sweet. Like they are legit.
Yeah,
Legit.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff.
They are a BMF wader.
Is that what it stands for?
It can stand for whatever you want it to stand for.
Exactly.
I've been thinking about that. I've been giving that some thought.
I have to echo what you were saying about working for Drake. I mean, that's kind of we hunted teal together a long time ago, and then it's kind of the same story. Picked up a camera, started taking some pictures, but then Ed called me and asked if I wanted to be on the Drake creative team, and I was kind of like you. I was like, dang man, like I ain't been doing this long enough to be on a creative team, but it's been absolutely
and honestly,
incredible.
I don't even think I've ever told you this. The reason, like I called you about it, is it's not necessarily just like I talked about, like with Owen. I can see, like, hey, this guy enjoys it. Like this guy's got a passion for doing this, and it's not an obligation for him to take his camera with him when he's hunting. He's taking it, whether he's by himself, whether he's with his buddies, he's taking it every time. And those are the people you want that are like, they're on the right path, that, they've gotten some good stuff. And, like, hey, this guy's starting to get it and he's passionate about it. And that's, and so I was like, I can tell that you loved it and we're wanting to get better. And I was like, all right, well, come on, get on here. I was like, I can try to help you a little bit along the way. And,
you helped me a lot of bit.
And so, and be a resource. And that, but if somebody, I love helping people that are like you and that are passionate about it. But, if you're not, like, all right, well, it's a whole different story. But, somebody that loves doing it, I'm helping them all I can.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think when I first got on the creative team, I couldn't take a good picture to save my life.
Well, we both came on at the same time.
they were not great.
They were not good. They were not good.
I called Owen and I was like, hey, you need to come over to my house this afternoon. We're gonna sit down for about 3 or 4 hours. I'm gonna tell you why your pictures are so horrible, but we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. And he was like, when Owen first started working for me, he was really great. Like, he was good at video. He was really good. At
That's
video.
my strong side.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. His pictures were not good, and I was like, all right, here's why they're not. I was like, look, you're doing this for a living now. Big boy pants on. I'm not gonna tell you, hey, these are good, and they're not. So, and like, we did it 2 days in a row where he came over and we edited, we went and shot pictures, edited pictures, and I showed, like, hey, you got to frame it, you got to get the light and all this stuff. And it was crazy that I could, like within a month, I could see like this. He even called me like the next time he went out, it's like, man, these are a lot better. And he sent them to me, I was like, those are a lot better.
Yeah.
And they've gotten substantially better and better and better. That was, I don't know, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah. And
he wasn't, but what, 11?
I know. we went somewhere this year and we're going into a bar, and I said, he said, I can't get in yet. I'm only 20. And I was like, dude, you've been, or maybe it was the year before. And I was like, you've been 19 for like 3 years. He was like, no. He's like, I started working for you when I was 17. And I was like, oh man. So will you please hurry up, turn 21? And this year I was like, well, all right, well, I'll call you when we're done.
Just sit, talk to the bouncer. Hey, you don't mind if he just sits right out here?
You got like a little chair. He can sit out here.
No, I'm gonna let him play on the iPad.
That's when I discovered Uber.
Yeah. Well, it's always fun working with you guys because I learn something new every time I'm out there with y'all.
And I've heard you say this, and we have a lot of people that listen to this, just because of Chris, and they're curious about getting into photography or getting started, I've heard this come out of your own mouth. Unless you're ready to go spend, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, you're better off getting good with your iPhone than anything. So if you had to tell somebody that like genuinely wants to kind of start figuring stuff out and they've just got an iPhone, what are like the 3 basic things that they need to be
How do
doing?
you get started? Yeah.
I mean, if you want to take pictures, you need something better than an iPhone. But I mean, I get asked, I would generally say just about every day, at least every day of my life, or at least probably 5 times a week. Hey, love your pictures. What's a good starter camera on Instagram? And it's my response is, well, it depends on what you've got to spend. What's your budget, and it's anywhere from, someone's like, money's not an issue. Okay, well, here's a better camera, but all the way down to like, I've had guys say, "Man, I'd like to keep it under $500." I'm like, well, I don't know, iPhone 6. Go get, that's 2025. But I would just like, if somebody wants to get a starter camera, I would buy a cheaper end like Canon or Sony, like mirrorless camera, because that's where it's all gone. There's no sense in shooting a DSLR anymore. But get a little cheaper lens, maybe a aftermarket lens like a Tamron, a Sigma or something, and just kind of start learning from there. There's so many, because there's so much great stuff on YouTube. I mean, honestly, that's how I learned a lot of it. It's just like hey, you want to figure this out? Like, figure it out. Like, watched hours, countless hours of YouTube videos trying to figure stuff out, and just type in what you're trying to do. And the main thing I tell people is, like, if you can learn shutter speed for pictures, the rest will fall into place. Like, sometimes when you first start, it can be really overwhelming going from putting your camera on auto, where the camera decides what everything is, to get into that, put it on that M for manual. Because once you're there, like, you're deciding what the lighting is going to be,
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that whenever I bought my camera, and I'd bought it was a decent DSLR camera, but that was like the first thing was put it in manual mode, learn how to use it.
Well,
there's no reason to shoot automatic or auto mode.
Yeah.
Put it in manual mode, figure it out. Watch YouTube, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, and the main thing is, once you learn how shutter speed controls every other aspect of the camera, it'll all kind of click and start falling into place a little bit better.
And that translates over to video as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's videos. It's a little different animal.
Well,
for
you're
sure.
not messing with the shutter
Yeah,
speed
you're not messing with
as
shutter
much.
speed, but it's kind of just trying to figure out. You've got to be a little bit better with a little bit closer to exposing it correctly with video than you do photos. You can pull some stuff out, and you can miss a little bit with photos. Video, you got to be a little bit more on the mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's really good stuff. Well, I'm curious to know, we killed those bush apples pretty quick.
Yeah.
But if we can go back in time and recall what those first couple sips tasted like, I'm curious to hear what y'all thought.
I thought it was, I guess it's all about expectations. Like, I
100% agree.
thought that it was going to be not great.
Did you think it was going to be real sweet? Because that's what
I
I
didn't
thought.
I didn't really think like it's going to have a certain taste to it. Like, hey, this is not going to be good. I'm going to stomach this down. And that's the only thought I have. Kind of like, I think I had a pumpkin beer one time and I wasn't a fan. I know people love them, but I guess I'm just kind of a Miller Lite, Busch Light type guy.
Yeah.
But when I took that first sip, I was like, wow, this is
pretty good.
I was like, this is a whole lot better. Of course, my expectations were pretty low, so
That helped.
But I really think I really enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Folks at Busch know what they're doing.
What do you rank
there's
it?
no doubt.
1 to 5.
I must say it's probably four.
That's
Four
strong.
right in there.
That's
I think that's a little low, but that's a fair
Low?
score. It's a little low, but that's a fair score.
Dude, that's a rock star score.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it is. I remember I had my buddy Derek one time, this was 15 years ago, he bought, I don't remember what the name of it. It was coming in a 4-pack, and it was an IPA something at this gas station in Flowwood. And it was the worst tasting thing I've ever tasted in my life. And I was like, man, this is horrible.
Well, you just described all IPAs.
I mean, I've had some that were all right. Like
They're not all bad.
But it,
When you grow up, you'll
like,
be able to drink.
I felt
real
like it
man's
was
beer.
like you, like it would be like if you lost a bet, this is what you would have to drink. Like somebody,
Right,
you'd be like,
yeah.
oh, you got to drink one of these. It was so bad, and it was expensive as hell. And I remember we went to it was like a Saturday or something. We were going to watch football, and I remember looking at his face. I didn't say like I remember thinking like, man, this is horrible. Like he was like, here, try one. Oh man, it's bad. I'm like, I'm not drinking any rest. I remember looking over at him at one point, and I could see him take a sip, and he was like, oh, and I was like, hey man, this beer's horrible. And he was like, man, it's not good. It's pretty bad. And I was like, yeah, it's the worst beer ever made. I was like, this is horrible. I don't know who told you it was good, but they
Had
lied
he
to
had
you.
them before? Or was
No,
that-
I think he was like trying for the first time too.
Okay.
But a little bit while later, I look over there and he like opens it up and I was like, hey, we're still in agreement. This is the worst beer ever made. He's like, yeah. He's like, I know, but hell, he said, man, I paid $13 for this 4-pack. He's like, I feel obligated to drink it, man. I was like, well, that next one's going to be just as bad as that first one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, because those IPAs are like 38 APV, so or ABV. So maybe he didn't even taste the second one.
Yeah, it was bad, but
So, what would you say about the Bush Apple?
First things first. The first sip I took, I'm kind of with him. Way better than
Pleasantly
I expected it to be.
surprised.
Very pleasantly surprised. Expected it to be heavier for some reason, but I think I was associating it with that Angry Orchard. It was still very beery, so it was light. But I expected it to be sweeter than it was. It wasn't. I really liked it. I mean, I would probably give it like a 3.8.
I have no response to that.
I mean, what was your? Are you gonna? I mean, what's yours?
Yeah, just use your words.
I think it's a solid 4.3.
Why are you acting like that? That's just like another realm from what we just gave.
It is.
It's in the same category. Y'all are all in the
No,
same ballpark.
We went
4.0 to
3.8,
4.3.
4.0, 4.3.
I mean, I'm not going to give it a 5. It's not a 5.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do y'all's ranking
Hang on,
system.
what'd I say when y'all did the
Well, 5
coffee
would be
last
the
night?
best.
No, I got that, but I'm just saying.
Back to you, Owen.
Yeah,
Well, Ben Moss would give Miller Lite a 5.
he's not wrong.
Remember last time we did
See,
the
that's
coffee?
the problem here.
We did the coffee, and you're like,
I did.
Owen, 1 to 5, what is it? I was like, 12.
It was good
It
coffee.
was good.
Oh, well, it's a good thing you're good with the camera.
I know. That's why I dropped out
We're
in
still
8th
waiting
grade.
on you to bring in the poop coffee
No.
for the show.
You've
it's-
heard about
it's
that, haven't you?
$550
For
for one bag.
All right. Well, how about this?
Let's don't have this discussion because you're gonna say something that's my brain's gonna stop.
No, I don't even know how this is brought
Dude,
up.
just go
I tell
to
you what,
Backwoods Grind.
Y'all
buy-
talk about this on your 7th trip here. Y'all have this discussion. Like,
anyways,
but I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
Some little cat shits it out.
all right.
Yeah, I said 4. You said 3.8, and he's like, "I'm astonished at y'all." And then he goes, "I
His jaw
probably
hit the floor.
4.2, 4.3," and I'm like,
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for playing.
I mean, like, okay, all right,
That's what left you speechless.
yeah, like, man,
Like I said, my biggest drawback with the Bush Apple is that you just can't buy it. Like they need to make more.
Yeah.
I'm
But
just
based
not,
off your reaction, I thought you were about to drop like a 4.9.
no.
or an 11. Yeah,
like,
I'm trying to think of a beer that would be that I'm just blown away that I would give a 5, and I can't.
what do
Like,
they call
I love,
it?
like-
White can. They have a gold top.
Okay.
it's a
beer by
fine
Miller.
pilsner.
Bingo.
There you go.
I'm thinking more realistic.
So I've always been a Miller Lite guy, and hunting and I seldom ever drink. I don't think I drank a single beer during the entire duck season last year.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I did. Like, obviously I travel a bunch, and I'm not 24 anymore.
So
or,
no road
or,
sodas.
or 19. Yeah, and so when
Sitting
you're
in the passenger seat editing, just
Well,
killing a
it's-
12-pack.
it's unfortunately it's in the driver's seat, but so I'm up at 3, 4
Yeah.
every morning, and then up till midnight or 1 o'clock editing. So I'm constantly tired. And
You got any cheat codes to staying awake while you're up that
Just-
long?
if you get tired, pull over. I used to try to drive through it, but after I had a kid, and now first time I get a little tired, I pull into a truck stop, set my alarm for 30 minutes, and my truck will run for 30 minutes, and it'll automatically cut off after 30 minutes, and
Yeah.
it'll wake me up about the same time my alarm does, and I can go for 4 or 5 hours after that. But, man, if I drink, I'm getting older, and I don't drink a whole lot anymore, and so when I
Right.
do, if I drink 3 or 4 beers, I got just a little touch of a little hangover next morning, and by
That shutter speed's not quite as quick.
well, and when that sun gets on those eyelids about 4 in the afternoon, when
Yeah.
you're driving, just filmed all morning,
Yeah.
got a 10-hour drive, and that sun gets on you, it'll put you to sleep quick. And so, to me, it's just like, man,
Yeah.
I mean, last year just worked out like that, but yeah, during duck season, I don't really, have a whole lot of beers unless
Yeah.
it's.
I've said this before. Some of the best naps I've ever taken were behind the wheel of my truck. So I'm working on that. But I went to the smelling salts last year,
Oh my god,
and that helped a ton.
All right,
That
all
helped a
right.
lot.
those things are serious.
Yeah,
I might
Chris,
have to look into that.
Chris,
I'd never had it before.
Chris came last year, and we introduced him. And did it make your nose bleed?
It didn't bleed.
It just about knocked you on your
my brain.
on your butt.
I think
though.
it made my brain.
He
bleed.
went in way too hot and heavy. I mean, he was ambitious.
I wasn't warned. I wasn't
He had a
warned.
credit card lining it up.
Well,
Well, it's a the ones that we get it's a bottle, and it's got all the capsules in it, and you just shake it and unscrew the bottle and smell it straight from the bottle.
You don't use that in the gym?
no.
Dude,
he
he'll make you
stuck-
max out every time.
He stuck his nose clean in it, and I'm talking about like,
No.
and I thought that his soul left his body.
Dude, it instantly.
It was not good.
Like-
My eyes are watering right now just thinking about
No,
it.
it's
It's
like
crazy.
when
It is
you
crazy.
take pre-workout and your whole body itches, you get that feeling. Instantly.
It goes up. Have you done it before?
No.
Oh, but
Don't do it.
I'll let you try it this year. It goes up through your sinuses and like splits right above your eyes.
Yeah,
you feel
and then
like
your
your
whole
brain's
body-
split in
There's
half.
a
itches.
warning label on the can.
I don't know that that's the best sales pitch I've ever heard. You can feel your brain split in half.
Well, and then it
I think
comes
there was commercials that Barbara Bush did when I was a kid, and with some eggs in a frying pan. Y'all too young to know that. But that's kind of the same. Feels like it would fall in that category.
brain on
I would
drugs.
I would take an aggressive hit of smelling salts, turn Lincoln Park all the way up with my windows down. That would keep me awake for long enough.
Jesus, just hop out,
That's
and
intense.
run beside it.
I'm like Ed. I'd just soon pull over and take a little nap.
Love's truck stop is
Yeah,
best place to take a nap.
yeah,
For sure.
it's
Yeah, I mean, I've
legit.
got my obviously, you've got your seat settings on your truck.
Mhm.
Number 1 is my typical driving, and number 2 is when I hit it, it goes
Sleep
forward a
mode.
little back, then all the way back,
Yeah.
and yep, it's old sleep mode.
Old
Just hit that
sleep
2.
mode.
Just pull in there, put it in park, hit that 2.
Is
Gone.
number 3 when the disco ball comes down?
I don't know what it,
Friday
they don't have a number 3, but I don't know what it would be if they did. It'd probably be up against the steering wheel with the window rolled down so I can stick my head out when it's
Yeah,
cold
see,
and wake
that's
back
me.
up.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I'm doing.
I've probably driven several hundred miles over the last 10, 15 years with the window down when it's 31 out.
Yeah.
It'll wake you up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stick my hand out, let my hand get real cold, then just smack myself in the face.
I'll just go full Ace Ventura and just get out there and just let it eat on your face as long as you can till it starts to get numb.
and just steer with your hand.
Till it starts to get numb and you stick it back in there and you're awake for a minute after that. But
Yeah.
it's getting older, get the more short-lived that method is. And now it's figured out it's just a lot easier just to pull over for a few minutes.
I'll just pull. I'm like that. I'll just pull over and set my alarm for an hour or something. Take a nap. And
Yeah,
then
I
rock and roll.
I got places to be.
White Monster.
Sleep when
There
I'm
you go.
dead.
The Mountain Ops. That's where I'm at now.
Sponsored.
All right, man. Well, thank you guys for coming
Man,
on.
appreciate
This
y'all
was
having us.
Oh
awesome.
yeah. This was all. Dude, yeah, I'm super jealous of that trip, but hearing about it's been awesome. Can't wait to see more of the footage.
Yep. Thank you.
Should be
guys.
some coming here soon. I've been posting a bunch of it, but I kind of feel like I'm wondering, like, man, people like seeing this.
I can assure you that they do.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
kind of feel like, all right, if I beat this horse to death, like I posted a bunch of stuff from Alaska. I was like, I don't know if
Think about it this way: everybody else is posting ducks 365. We see ducks all the time.
Yeah.
I don't mind looking at a couple of grizzly bears and wolves that I have never seen before.
All right. Go in there and check out that puffin. I think I've already
I
posted
will
it.
check it out. I feel underdressed, but I'm gonna
Toucan
go check
Sam
him
in a
out.
tuxedo.
He's sharp, man. He's sharp. Well, thank y'all again. This has been awesome. Can't wait to share a tree with y'all this year and hear about how your season goes.
It's
So.
not too much further.
No, it's right around the
Shooting
corner.
ducks.
All right, man. Roll us out.
See ya.